Now, ahead of a big fight, boxers go to training camps. Ahead of an important chess match, the Grand Masters and others study previous form and remind themselves of the great game plans that others have succeeded with or fallen foul of. I see the Prime Minister a bit like that this weekend. On Wednesday afternoon at PMQs, the chamber was like a boxing ring. Boris Johnson toe-to-toe with his opponent Sir Keir Starmer in front of a hostile crowd. Dramatically, just before the bell rang for the first round, the PM discovered that his team member Christian Wakeford had switched camps. And in the final round, he was dealt a devastating blow from an old sparring partner. David Davis told him to his face, "For God's sake, go." Many thought the contest was over, but Boris Johnson picked himself up from the canvas and is evidently ready to go again. Far from tempting him to throw in the towel, it seems to fire him up. Well, early next week, he and we will hear what senior civil servant Sue Gray makes of it all, and there's a lot of it. But most agree that the key issues are the detail of what was known by whom and when, and who said what about it to whom. Whether a senior civil servant's warning to a principal private secretary about the advisability of one specific party was handed on to the Prime Minister or not is a key issue. Speculation, in all honesty, is futile. Patience is imperative. But there is a fascinating debate going on over just what Ms Gray will do. Will she simply assemble the facts, point at contradictions and/or illogicalities, but leave others to judge? Or will she be more conclusive on who erred and to what extent that broke the rules? For the Prime Minister, that's a vital distinction. Well, this weekend, I suspect that Boris Johnson will be doing a good deal of if she says this and if she says that stuff. But there's no point in trying to second-guess Sue Gray. Her report, or her take, as it were, is well worth considering, whatever it says. There's a great deal at stake. Whenever I mention this subject, however, on Twitter, I am greeted in roughly equal measure by those saying, "Lay off! He's the boss, he's our boss, and it's all got up by others." And those who say, "He's a wrong-un, caught out, who ought to go." I am genuinely neutral, but I'm equally intrigued. So much is at stake. Yesterday in the Daily Telegraph, Fraser Nelson, editor of the very critical Spectator magazine, argued that Boris Johnson should indeed get one last chance, but Fraser doubted that it would be delivered. Today, The Times has a big splash on the rallying of the troops around the Prime Minister to achieve just that. Elsewhere, there are calls for him to drop or postpone the April rise in national insurance and to big up the freedoms that dropping Plan B on COVID deliver. So clearly, the fight is on. One of the top figures in the campaign to defend the Prime Minister joins me in just a moment. We're still reeling from the attempted coup from within Tory ranks to bring matters to a head, even before Ms Gray has presented her report. The rebels' promises of a rapid delivery of 54 or even more letters seeking a vote of confidence in the Prime Minister came to nothing. It cost them dear in bitter dismissals from men and women with power and long memories. They countered, however, with charges of blackmail by the Tory party's enforcers, the whips, only to be batted out of the ground by cabinet-level voices. They retaliated by saying to the Met Police, blackmail is wrong. And William Ragg, the Tory chair of the Public Administration Committee, who led the way on those claims of blackmail, now says he's talking to the Metropolitan Police next week. But this is more than just the stuff of pork pies, school children behaviour and big beasts getting brutal. It's actually about our democracy, our trust in government and in Parliament. So perhaps it is time to take a brief pause before the end game unfolds. To that end, I've invited a leading supporter of the Prime Minister, mentioned in that Times newspaper piece, and a leading critic to join me to map out what might happen, what should happen, and crucially, what's at stake for the rest of us. The office of Prime Minister, our democracy, and our country. And on that and more, I'd really like to hear your thoughts as well. You can get in touch, GB Views at GB News, via Twitter, or all the rest of it. And I look forward to hearing from you.